Alright. To anyone watching the VOD, or anyone who just instantly clicked on the video, just clicked on the stream, the people, to anyone that was just waiting for us to go live, in that case, please get a life. We were just talking about twist heroes.
You've heard of a twist villain. How about a twist hero?
And we were thinking of examples, and one of the best one. Well, first of all, it started with a tweet that had the picture of the old man from Monster House, which very, very good example of a twist hero, because throughout that movie we're led to believe he's a bad guy for scaring children and screaming at them, "You're gonna die!"
Chasing them off his property.
Yeah. Then it turns out he had every reason to do that because his dead, spoilers for a movie that's probably older than I want to admit.
It's from the early 2000s, so we're creeping up on 20 years old.
Oh, fuck. The house was possessed by his dead wife, who hated children. To the point
because she was a circus worker who would be frequently mocked by children. Let's be completely transparent there.
Yeah, well, I mean, to the point where she would, try to murder kids, okay?
She also had anger issues that were extremely disproportionate.
So, it turns out that the old man was just trying to keep the kids alive. Keep them away from his murderous literal murderous housewife. And then there's some other examples on this tweet. A lot of people are struggling to understand what a twist hero is. Some are just straight up posting villains.
Or redeemed antagonists, in the case of Prince Zuko.
But the best example that we found,
textbook example,
the zombies,
was the zombies from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Yes.
Shaggy, the zombies are the good guys! Like, are you out of your mind? The zombies were the victims of the real villains who were just trying to scare other potential victims off the island.
Exactly. One of the best twists, honestly.
And then returned to Zombie Island and compulsively tried to ruin anything and everything that movie had built up, but I should not let myself get into that rant.
That movie is not canon. I don't care what Warner Brothers says, it's not canon.
It changes too many things to be canon.
Alright. I forgot to tell people we're live. Hold on. Oh, also, I started watching Gundam G-Quacks.
Ooh. Especially given how the most recent episode supposedly ended. How is it?
So, it's good. First episode was really good. Second episode, which is the flashback of how this timeline is different. I am usually not a fan of timelines where the villain wins. Because it usually means the heroes that you've come to know and care about end up with very, very terrible fates. But that wasn't really the case for this. Because there's a line that I did not know was in this episode. The entire civilian population of the colony where Project V was had been evacuated.
I still recall hearing plenty of fan theories that it was Amuro in that gun cannon.
If that...
The one that was trying to protect the colony, mind
Yeah.
you, not the...
Well, unless he was in the military from the get-go, that wouldn't have been him.
Just like... And this was one thing I brought up. That would never have been him in the prototype Gundam. That was already being tested by the time Zeon entered the colony. It had a pilot in there already. And credit where it's due for that no-name pilot to have kept up with the Red Comet as long as they did.
Mm-hmm.
Especially given that at that point, most Federation pilots were more used to, like, fighter aircraft than they were mobile suits. And no, Gundam the Origin does not count. That is its own splinter timeline.
So, that line implies that Amuro was not even at the colony. So, well, not implied.
It also explains why Sayla was able to join up and get involved.
Mm-hmm. So, that kind of makes me feel a lot better about this timeline, because it means that the fate of our protagonist characters are unknown.
And you know what? The fact that they evacuated actually makes sense. They were already working on, like, getting civilians out of harm's way with the white base docking, and that was before they even knew Zeon was present.
What's that?
Hey, Taro.
With a certain hotshot Zaku pilot no longer here, and thus things don't end up as open fire, like, right off the bat, the civilians do end up getting evacuated that much easier. Because Char knows how to restrain the urge to pull the trigger.
Hey, Taro. Hello? You are quiet.
Very quiet.
Windows are closed and I'm eating.
Ah. Sorry.
It's fine. I'll set up properly in a bit.
Alright. Well, we're already live. Excuse me.
I know. I'm watching it right now.
And I have sent out the link.
I wish I could be watching the stream proper right now, outside of this call, but the internet's been kind of wonky over in my neck of the woods.
Hello, everyone.
I choose to believe it's the 90-plus degree weather.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bear Cave. Vegas Bear here, as always, with Nikamon and Taro. Guys, this is the part where you say hello.
Hello. Sorry, I was momentarily distracted. Trying to keep a turtle from not getting cooked alive.
Okay. Today,
I'm playing Fly 2 right now, and there's a bunch of fire-breathing guards trying to get at that leak.
I figured as much. Today is, of course, Monday, which means we are playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. Specifically separate ways because, well, we finished the main campaign.
And can I just say that outside of the stream, for me, today has been the most Monday to ever Monday. It's like Friday the 13th specifically waited 10 days to come after my ass.
Probably the best thing.
Because everything that could go wrong has gone wrong today.
The best thing I think I've gotten out of this Friday the 13th was finding that one picture of Jason in a field with a flower crown going, "It's my birthday, bitch." Alright. So, last time, we found out Ada was infected by the Black Verdugo.
Welcome. Got a selection of good things on sale.
Hence the title of this episode.
There's some things money.
If only I could see it.
Is there anyone in this? Fuck. Is there anyone here who isn't infected?
Anything else I can help you with? Why not try your hand at a new gun, stranger? Might save your life. This kind of work is about finesse, stranger. Little bit goes a long way.
How be the bear anyway?
The bear be
Try
good.
that on for size.
I had to take my brother to work and then pick him up.
I'll buy
And that whole
almost anything.
that whole thing.
Will that be all then?
And in the meantime, I watched Gundam G-Quux.
Don't spoil me.
I am only like halfway
What
done
you
with
see
episode
is
2.
what I've got.
Oh,
A well-tuned
I
weapon
won't
can
spoil
make
you.
up for any lack of skill.
I already know about like certain things because I don't care about spoilers.
Gotta succumb back anytime.
And I lack the streaming service to watch it in the first place.
I could see if it's on VR chat and stream it to you there.
I mean, to be fair, Bear could also just... Like, the same way we do movie nights, just have me present when we watch.
Yeah. I could do that. Oh, okay. Alright, we went through this area already.
Why not treat yourself, mate?
Thankful I'm not available for movie nights
Huh?
this time. Is it?
What were you saying?
Oh. I said I'm thankful I'm not going to be available for movie nights this time.
Why?
Because while I was eating dinner a couple days ago, my mom put the movie on, and I'm very serious when I say this. I was about ready to crash out for the main character.
Oh, the movie we're going to be watching
Just let me
this week?
through, could
Yeah.
you?
Actually gave me a visceral reaction to it. I was, oh.
I feel like I'm gonna be screaming by the time the movie's done.
Oh, you will. You will. For the sake of spoilers, I won't say anything. But, oh my god. I hated the movie so much.
Finally. Glad that's over.
I don't know if things going wrong, if they have the potential to go wrong. Hooray, I'm developing a headache. Not bad enough to keep me away from here, but still. I imagine I probably just need some more water or something.
Do you have a window open?
My guy, it's 90 plus degrees over here. My windows are closed and the AC is on.
I said. Oh, he's coming up ladder. Peekaboo.
I was gonna say, whenever I get a headache, 9 times out of 10, well, 9 times, no, I'd say at least 40 times out of 100, if I open the window, I'll start running away.
That's happened to me before.
Like I said, too hot for that.
Like I'll have a really I'll have a crappy headache, and like it'll bother me like all day until I open up a window, and then it just starts to go away. I'm like, what the actual hell?
Now, where are the others?
It's fresh air. Like, non-filtered fresh air.
My guy, I've told you where I live. You know there's no such thing as that here.
Damn, let me try to help.
He does have a point, but I see what you're trying to do, Taro.
And I appreciate the fact that you wanted to help, dude. Like, let me make that abundantly clear.
It just so happens he lives in the most poisonous part of the United States of America. No, wait, second most. I forgot about Detroit.
Third most, you forgot Pittsburgh.
Fuck! Every time!
That should do it.
We're about on par with New York. Either way, a little bit of water and a moment to just kind of try to chillax and the headache has soothed.
Okay, my window's open now.
Is it not like really hot for you where you are? I say that as I remember where you live. That is one of the dumbest things I have said unintentionally.
That sound. That's right. I still have some unfinished business to take care of.
I was able to wear a varsity jacket all day thanks to the whoever over here. And, in Japan.
this point, I'd take Antarctica.
No, you don't want to be there. That's where the thing lives.
Yeah, Antarctica's pretty big. If I pick a random spot, it's probably going to take a while for that thing to find me. And if I live alone, well... who am I kidding? I could never live alone. My brain would not be able to stand lack of company.
I mean, no human brain can. We are social creatures by default.
I'm not.
You are. You just don't know it.
It comes in varying levels.
Sorry.
It's a spectrum.
Nothing yet. But my little...
It doesn't matter who you are.
Like,
If you are alone for long enough, you will go crazy.
Everything will work out just fine.
Like, even introverts need some degree of social interaction.
He's a good boy. Predictable.
Like, Taro, imagine if you couldn't talk the web.
What?
Imagine if you couldn't talk the web.
Oh, that would just make me cry.
Exactly. You live like, just imagine living alone, no human
Leon,
interaction, no
changed your
web.
mind yet? Assuming you haven't, I've got a tip for you.
No contact with
Seems like
any
something
other
big's
life
about to
forms,
go down in the
period.
room. Babysitting's tough, huh?
You
No
would.
talking with loved ones, no pets.
You would eventually go crazy.
That being said, I taste your drift. I'm not going anywhere near that thing. I'd say maybe the Arctic, go north, but with my luck, there's something just like the thing up there too.
So, okay. In one of the poles, you have the thing. On the other pole, you have the alien colony from AVP.
Also Santa Claus, but I hear he's a terrible neighbor.
I should check below.
Like, one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, but still a terrible neighbor because he makes all of the noise at night.
He also doesn't clean up his reindeer shit.
And then there's the factory.
Yeah.
I take that back. Factories, plural.
Sure, they're magic and they can make anything, but
They're still noisy as shit. And on the note of those reindeer, they're going to crash plenty of times as new generations of them learn to fly. I don't want to have to repair a window because a reindeer crashed through it.
What are you about to say, Taro?
This must be the collection room.
Hold on. Okay.
Blue butterfly.
So, I have more pictures from Bearchat Adventures. You want to see the funniest one?
Sure.
Interesting.
Is that Voltron chess?
What?
I just gotta wait for my phone to realize that it's supposed to load things.
The first picture you sent, it looks like chess, but with Voltron characters.
Oh no. The small things are also players.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not chess. We're trying to kill a giant thing. The game's called Gygas. Basically, one player becomes the Gygas, and the other three, or depending on how many there are, become the humans trying to kill said Gygas. That's why you see me in the background getting blown up.
My placenta. Placenta? P-E... Santa. Placenta.
Good to know.
We have a name for the creature.
If any of... Okay, so I'm sending a bunch of pictures into the toy room, and if any of these are actually accurate to what we'll be seeing next year, I will be a very happy Mekumon. Among the Transformers that are supposedly confirmed, just to lift my spirits a little bit here, we've got the last two G2 Dinobots in Sludge and Swoop, Deluxe Beast Wars Quick Strike, then there's Quintus Prime, Nexus Prime, Armada Sideways, Universe, Razor Claw.
Everything you need.
Good.
My brain blanked there for a moment.
Exactly what you want. Oh, that's
Voyager class animated Wreck-Gar,
Parasite's reacting to the amber.
Deluxe class animated Ratchet,
That looks like something.
and Leader class Beast Wars Universe Big Convoy.
Hot damn.
Also, Deluxe class Smokescreen and Swerve. Smokescreen's probably going to be a package refresh of the Earthrise Datsun mold, which, fine by me. But, Swerve, they're probably going to retool off of the Gears
For a
mold.
time.
And having had some experience with that mold with the G1 Toy Head version
Salute.
for the retro line, that is a very good thing.
Just remember, it's not a cure. We still need to find a way to get that thing out of you.
Plus, it also means I get to add a bartender to my Autobot roster.
It's coming.
Placenta. Honestly, not as scary as
I don't understand. It should be working by now.
the other one whose name I
Take
completely
the amber
forgot.
and go. Once the parasite is sedated.
The Regenerators?
Stone.
No, the one with the
Can't
red
leave you here.
robe. The one that you said looks like a xenomorph.
You got another promise to keep.
That thing, right.
All right, but you come find me as soon as you're done here.
Were you about to say something, Taro?
There's gonna be a Goosebumps game.
Woo!
Ooh. I've never been too overly into Goosebumps as a series, but it still makes me happy to see a game you're excited in.
As long as I can bitch slap Slappy, I'll be happy.
Didn't seem like Slappy was in the teaser for it.
Fuck.
Just because he's not in the teaser trailer doesn't mean he's not there. You can't reveal every book they adapted right off the bat.
Just call out Slappy's a doll enough times and he'll appear.
Slappy's a bitch! He ain't got shit on Chucky.
Oh, wait,
Also, I have a wood chipper I would like to feed them both to. But knowing Chucky, he'll probably cram me in there instead. So...
What were you about to say, Taro?
There's gonna be a Terrifier game too.
Oh my god! No, wait, I heard about that one. It's like a side scroller beat 'em up or something.
I see. Wait. That's. Oh,
Louise has the info. I need to reach him.
that's fun.
What's fun?
Horror skyscraper beat 'em up.
Oh.
Louise is.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time they've done that. They did one for Halloween.
Oh, wait, did it?
Yeah, and The Evil Dead.
Huh.
I'll be honest, Bear. That batch of pictures of potential new Transformers figures I mentioned, I did send them in a group chat with you and Red earlier. I was fully expecting Red to start ranting and raving the instant Universe Razor Claw pops up.
I'll have to hold on. I need to look at these pictures.
So, Razor Claw, in the context of Transformers Universe, this one was from the 2003 Universe line. He was a recolor of Tigerhawk. And the mere fact he's from Universe 2003 is what I expected to get Red ranting and raving. We both know he despises that series with a passion. Though Armada Sideways definitely was a curveball.
Let's see.
Here's hoping they actually give him his mini-cons.
Age of the Primes 2026 selects G2 Swooping Sludge, Deluxe Class Quick Strike, like you said, Deluxe Class Quintus Prime, Voyager Nexus Prime. Wait, yeah, Nexus Prime. And
Voyager
Sideways.
Class Armada Sideways.
I really want to see this one.
So do I. Here's hoping they actually remember to keep his mini-cons in the pack.
I mean, if they don't, then, like... If
Sideways does have an alternate head you can deploy when he's not using either of his mini-cons, but I'd rather that be the alternate head and not, the default. This guy was the grand return of the headmaster gimmick in Transformers Armada's version of Modern Times. That series is 20 years old. So yeah, Universe Razorclaw. If memory serves, he was a version of Tigerhawk that got abducted by Unicron, forcibly reprogrammed, and turned into a psychotic, tyrannical warlord. So basically, if Tigerhawk got turned into G1 Razorclaw, or more accurately, like any given Megatron.
I'm gonna vanish for a bit. I'll see you two, hopefully before 3 minutes.
Okay.
The ones that have me the most excited, though, Animated Universe Ratchet, because of course, and Big Convoy, definitely. They gave us Magmatron. They have to give us Big Convoy at some point.
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
Then again, they gave us Leo Prime and still no Beast Wars Galvatron.
Down we go.
Then again, Beast Wars Galvatron would be a pain in the neck to engineer. They'd have to put him at leader class just so they'd have the budget to work in the triple change gimmick.
He really knows his way around this place.
I love this. Lewis spray painted signs for Ada to follow to track him down while he's going to try and find Leon. This way.
A nest. Hope it's not a sign of things to come. Locked.
Okay, I am very excited for Sideways.
Deva insists, don't be excited for these, don't get our hopes up. Armorhead says some of them have already been officially confirmed, though they could be subject to change. So I'm asking which ones. No answer.
Aren't we still getting the Parts of Steel guys?
Oh, those are released already.
What? I haven't seen anything from
There's-
them.
Like, I did see some people actually having them in hand.
Won't budge. I'm not swimming in that.
Well, specifically, the Optimus and Starscream one is out.
Well, I'll be. Well done. You've proven yourself reliable. I've got something new for you, mate. What? All yours, stranger. Stocking up while you can. Wise choice. There's some things money can't buy.
Unfortunately, given the state of my internet right now, I cannot have the stream up and search at the same time.
You can't go wrong with that. Good instinct, stranger. Don't get yourself killed.
Unfortunate.
Killed now. Welcome. I still have some new items you might be interested in. Thank you. What you see is what I've got. All yours, stranger. Try that on for size. Dazzled, are you? Will that be all? Now go and...
I'm going to prioritize the search, so I'll be right back.
Alright.
Hey.
That should take care of the water. I hope.
no luck.
Damn.
Even with the stream closed, I cannot get anything to function.
That is unfortunate. Oh, fuck! Bug!
So, I recently heard that the 90s Spider-Man cartoon is getting a continuation, just not in animated form.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's gonna be a comic book.
A 4-issue limited series. But hey, it's better than nothing.
That's true.
Supposed to, like, as far as I can gather, it's supposed to more or less bring us up to speed on what happened between the ending of the show proper and the cameo in X-Men.
Honestly, considering that they canned the writer for X-Men 97, this doesn't surprise me.
On the plus side, the writer they got for the comic book is one of the best Spider-Man writers we've ever had. I just wish I could recall the name off the top of my head, but unfortunately my head's been a little scrambled today.
What was he done in terms of work?
If memory serves, he worked on the 90s show itself.
Okay, that's promising.
If not the comic books from around the time. The comic books are also boasting, yeah, this comic continuation will have 2 characters that we never saw in the show. For those who are unaware, or simply are too young to know about this, because there was a Spider-Man movie in the works that would have... Like, it's not the Sam Raimi one, keep in mind. There was a previous attempt at a movie that fell through during the course of the run of the 90s cartoon. It was because of that movie that they couldn't use Electro and Sandman, as they were slated to be villains for that movie.
I thought Electro was in the show.
Ah, and there's the thing. The movie had fallen through by the time we got to the later seasons, and because of that, Electro was allowed into the show. They just simply didn't get around to using Sandman fast enough. And I will just tell you right now, having seen the script for that particular movie, I am thankful that it fell through. It was so not Spider-Man, it hurt. Basically, what if Spider-Man, but also what if Predator?
Huh?
Well, sort of. They were gonna play out the aspect of the powers turning Peter into a monster that gradually loses his sanity and basically becomes the villain.
No.
Like, this isn't even a straight-up man-spider thing, either. No, like...
That's not Peter Parker, that's fucking Parnell or whatever the hell his name was.
Spiders Man.
No, not even Spiders Man, because that's just a group of spiders that thinks he's Peter Parker.
I was afraid of that.
Parnell was like Parnell was like the basically what you were describing, a spider monster. He was a psychopath with an abusive Uncle Ted.
Right.
He was in like one issue of the Spider-Verse where he was eaten by fucking
Moreland.
Probably the only good thing
Right.
that guy...
Moreland and the Inheritors.
Yeah. Probably the only good thing that guy did in that entire comic series.
Speaking of, Moreland is one of the characters that's going to show up, and we know this because he's on one of the leaked covers.
Oh. Well,
Considering the writer and the caliber thereof in question, the guy who originally introduced Moreland into the comics before the whole Inheritors bullshit, mind you, we're probably going to get closer to the way Moreland was always intended to be characterized. An existential threat to Peter, but not quite some omniversal whole totem hunting bullshit.
okay.
And I'm convinced that because of the whole two characters we never saw in the 90s show bit, part of me is somehow convinced itself that the other guy will be Sandman. Simply by virtue of being too slow to make it into the cartoon before it ended. Because, again, he was slated for use in that movie alongside Electro, and Electro made it in.
Fucking imagine if it's just like the Prowler.
The Prowler was already in the cartoon.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, like, straight up, they did a lot of crossovers with Spider-Man. The crew admitted that they basically made a lot of backdoor pilots through that show. We've got the MCU, but before we had that, we had the MAU. The Marvel Animated Universe.
Which unfortunately did not take off as well as the DC.
The DCAU.
How long
Like,
had it been living
I love
there?
Marvel and I love DC, but I will always say DC's better with animated shows. Marvel,
And Marvel's better with movies.
yes. Granted,
Or at least has been for some time, though the current quality of the movies is up to the individual.
if you say that now, like someone will be that asshole and go, actually.
I'm not saying that either party can't produce good things of the other category, keep in mind.
Yeah.
There are good DC movies, and there are good Marvel cartoons.
Yeah, like Spectacular.
I am not going to show disrespect to Spectacular Spider-Man or Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Hell, for all the weird deviations that it did, Iron Man Armored Adventures was pretty good.
Yeah?
Gave us arguably the best Iron Man theme song we ever had, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
So much so that I'm forgetting the name of the YouTuber, but he does song covers. I know that doesn't narrow it down much, but like I previously listened to a bunch of his Scooby-Doo stuff and found that he did covers of some Marvel and DC shows. In particular, he did one for Iron Man Armored Adventures, and he actually tweaked the lyrics so it could apply to Iron Man as a whole.
Nice.
Replacing his teenage life will never be the same in the lyrics with you know his life will never be the same.
That's true.
That simple tweak let the song apply to Iron Man as a whole, and I'm like, you know what? This works. Simple lyrical tweak, it works. So not all of the Marvel shows from the 90s were good. Fantastic Four had it rough. Hulk kind of had it rough for a while. And there's a reason nobody talks about Avengers. Hell, I'm pretty sure most people don't even know that there was an Avengers cartoon prior to Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Is that the fucking one with Wonder Man?
Probably.
Oh. You know, Wonder Man is joining the MCU.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Marvel's got such a huge catalog, they're digging around everywhere.
I don't particularly care for Wonder Man. In fact, I have laughed at a lot of the jokes that kind of, well, I mean, that obviously make fun of Wonder Man.
I don't know much about him, so care to enlighten the poor confused cat?
So what little I do know is that he is, from what I can understand, he is.
Welcome, stranger.
Alright, imagine if a character from The Boys was in Marvel.
Okay, nothing more needs to be said. Holy shit.
Now, he's not terrible. He's not a sack of shit. But he is a joke.
I find this information contradictory.
He is a complete joke, though. Like, he's not, like, using drugs or, like, screwing people's heads off, like, literally.
I'll buy almost anything. Well done, stranger. Good stuff, stranger. Well then,
But he is,
what can I do you? Why not try
I do
your
believe he
hand
was one of
at
the,
a new
at least at
gun,
one
stranger?
point in time, he was one of those heroes that was like sponsored by like different companies.
To return to the topic of Marvel shows from the 90s,
How have we
here's one.
You can't go wrong.
Silver Surfer had a show.
Yeah, and that show flew over every kid's head. That I don't even know that show was made for kids.
I believe there was actually a bumper once where they had Hank Hill talking to the surfer about powering his board with propane.
You know what? That tracks. I would believe that, even if it's not real. I believe that. Have you seen the trailers for the new King of the Hill?
Not really.
Yeah.
I did see the new intro, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
So there is a trailer where Bobby comes home And like Hank's on the grill, and Peggy's just like, "Look who came to visit," and it's Bobby. And Hank just goes, "Hey, son, come over here and give your father a nice big handshake."
Yeah, he's still Hank.
We love you, Hank.
Warms my... my heart.
And there was a
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
To see you stop by.
you first. I was gonna go back to the Silver Surfer.
There was a clip of Hank and Dale at like
Hello,
this
stranger.
museum,
Welcome.
and it was
What can I interest you in?
the most benign crap,
Thank you.
like a
deal
pen
well
that George
struck.
W. Bush used to write an executive order.
They involve propane.
Your valuables won't do you much comeback anytime.
I wish you could have seen the like half blue screen, half video buffering symbol that appeared over my head.
Actually, sorry, my bad. The executive order was about oil. And I think maybe fracking. I'd have to look it up again. But either way, like Hank was very excited. While Peggy was waiting for the sweet embrace of death.
Let's hope they dialed her narcissism down a little bit.
Thanks for the directions,
mean-
Luis.
It's still too early to know for sure, but like, here's hoping that it's taking as long a break as they did from these characters. Let them dial them back a little.
Oh shit, it's in here.
At least Cotton's still dead, so we don't have to put up with him.
So I looked into Cotton. Like, god damn. Oh shit!
So, brief tangent before we go back to that.
Right.
In regards to the Surfer, I was gonna mention how my first experience with him was actually finding some of his episodes on YouTube while I was still in high school. I had just evolved my media literacy enough up to that point to actually get the gravitas of the backstory on display in the first episode. It was my first actual glimpse of Galactus not being evil, and maybe finally, like, so, hear me out. I know people compare Galactus to Unicron a lot, but to borrow an example from Zilla here, Unicron is a force of malevolent destruction. Galactus feeds on planets because it is sustenance on his part. He is a force of nature. It's not like he wants to drive civilizations extinct, it's just how he keeps himself alive. Unicron destroys planets because he's offended by the existence of life in any form. Cut back to when I was first watching the first episode of the Silver Surfer cartoon, and Norrinrad makes the deal with Galactus to spare his planet in exchange for serving Galactus and finding other planets for him to feed on. Literally, the first thing he does as the Surfer, because his mind has effectively been reset, he is not Norrinrad anymore. The Surfer suggests, what about this planet? The very planet that Norrinrad had just tried to protect with this deal, and Galactus honors the deal, telling him, no, I made a promise with a good man to spare this planet.
Damn.
And so they move on.
I never thought I would say this, but good shout out to good guy Galactus.
It's more or less in that comparison I brought up from reviewer Werezilla over there. Galactus is not malicious. Not inherently. Hell, I went on to look into more of his appearances, and yes, he has expressed on more than one occasion that he doesn't enjoy doing what he does. He's keeping himself alive to keep a greater threat away. He grieves a lot of the times for the people he puts down, the people he wipes out.
Warms my heart.
Yes, they are like insects to him, but that doesn't mean one cannot have empathy for stuffing an anthill just because, you had to.
Got a selection of good
I mean, I do
things
feel
on
bad when I
sale.
kill spiders.
All my wares are in tip-top shape, I assure you. All yours, stranger.
Galactus does not enjoy the killing, but it is a necessary evil.
Ruby's all rubbish, it makes no difference. The price, well, that's odd. Good instinct, stranger. Anything else I can help? Don't.
Hell, he's usually open to negotiating. Okay, is there an uninhabited planet that fits your needs? Go there! The Fantastic Four have pointed in two such planets on more than one occasion.
Well,
That does bring up the question of why he keeps coming back to Earth, though.
I'll buy it at a high price.
That is a good question, and one I unfortunately do not have an answer for.
Is Earth like the cookie in the jar that he's not allowed to have? Like, it's just so tempting that he can't help himself?
Very well might be. Considering how much important cosmic crap winds up on Earth, and the elemental energies and whatnot in each planet that he has to consume, like,
Welcome. Ooh, what you
this
buying?
might as well be the universe's biggest ice cream sundae to him.
Stop. I'll keep it. Look out for items that suit you.
Alright, I'm coughing a little too much. I should go refill my drink.
You know what?
I'm gonna go grab another soda. So I will be right back, because I do believe we're about to go fight Pasanta.
Ready. Be right back.
And I'm back. Alright. Let me just make sure that I'm good here.
Welcome. Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger. Better to be over-prepared, am I right? Stocking up what... Don't get yourself killed. now?
I return.
Just in time. We're getting ready to fight for something. I took a break on my own in order to get another soda.
I'm down here with my headphones and the phone, still keeping watch, but still getting what I was getting.
Come on now.
I figured, you know what? 90 out there. I might as well get some ice cream. So hurrah, huzzah for sherbet. Ooh!
Very different from the other one.
Can't stand the clingy type. Time to
Very,
go.
very nasty.
I do believe this is a rework of another RE4 boss, but I can't remember his name.
Yes, I would believe that. Anyways, you were telling me about the King of the Hill reboot.
Right.
Sorry, continuation, not reboot.
Yeah, I was also talking about how I looked into Cotton and I do it. And he is a very interesting man.
He's been through quite a lot and thinks it's an excuse to be as horrible a person as possible to everyone around him.
Yeah. Although, from what I have seen, despite a lot of the shit that he does to Hank, he does genuinely... I don't know if I want to use the word care.
My turn.
But
I wouldn't.
You're not even trying.
there's a moment where they're being like, they're being attacked by like Vietnam veterans. And Hank is like constantly apologizing, like this is cool. And Hank says, "Oh no, Hank, shut the hell up! It ain't your fault. It's mine." Goes on to talk about how Hank did everything right. Cotton was the one who fucked up. Very rare moments.
Not really.
Not exactly what I expected.
Like, I can think of another moment of him standing up for, you know, family members. So this time it was for Bobby. So, long story short, through a series of accidents, Bobby ended up accidentally starting a fire in a church. And Cotton, who was already kind of being prickly as usual, he wound up being the prime suspect. When he learned what the truth actually was from Bobby himself, now, Hank and Peggy were initially insisting that Bobby come clean because, you know, he's young, they'll probably go a little easier on him. Cotton tells them, paraphrasing here, "The hell with that. The boy's got a future. I don't. I'm old. Let them hate me. They already do." So he took the fall for Bobby.
From what I read about his character, he does tend to favor Bobby more than Hank. But whether or not that's because he just likes Bobby more, despite Hank, or if it's because he recognizes that Hank is a better father than him, I don't know.
You're not.
Hell, there's a moment where...
And then there's a
Oh. Sure, you know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a moment where Peggy is hurt and she's like Hank did it, and Cotton, who does not like Peggy, mind you,
Had enough?
is appalled and says, "Hank, I didn't teach you that."
So, on the note of Peggy there, Cotton basically coached her to walk again after a skydiving accident.
Oh, fuck.
The same skydiving accident that people theorize is what had, damaged her enough to start over-exaggerating the narcissism, but that is neither here nor there. Cotton stepped up, teaching her how to walk again, by basically egging her on to walk to spite him.
That's Cotton. That is absolutely something Cotton would do.
And he gets the last laugh in the end, so to speak, as, well, I brought this up at the top of the King of the Hill discussion, but Cotton dies at some point during the later seasons of King of the Hill, and he's only really able to, relax and move on because he was basically letting himself die to spite Peggy.
I also remember reading about how he, in his will, I believe he asked Hank to build him a shed, and then asked Dale to blow up the shed.
Okay, that's funny.
Now, to find Luis.
Pasanta is fucking dead.
Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. So, backing up a little here on the note of Galactus. I mentioned a couple of times that he was actually holding back an even greater threat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just forgetting the details of that threat. I believe you discussed them with me at some point, so refresh my memory, if at all.
I'm on my way.
Oh shit.
The amber, Luis. Where is it?
Because, like, I remember these guys basically moved in after Franklin Richards killed Galactus once. Fair. The only reason I brought them up was because I was actually beginning to wonder, why didn't they move in and eradicate the Marvel Zombies universe after that Galactus died? But then I remember, oh yeah, because those bunch of creepy undead cannibals had absorbed Galactus's power by consuming him. So instead of one Galactus, there's like 6 of them.
Browser. Luis, Nikolai's gonna have to wait. You're not getting away.
So yeah, like, why didn't they move in? Because even if Galactus was dead, his power's still freaking there.
Leon, there's only time to say this once.
If anything,
they took your
we
friend
now
to the
have
clock tower. If you
like
hurry,
6
get
plus
there before she turns
fully Galactus-powered zombies. It's like Galactus himself just multiplied
Yeah,
while keeping his
should.
power intact.
Now, back to Browser.
And I begin to wonder how things would have gone differently if the Surfer managed to escape getting consumed. If they failed to knock him off his board. If he'd just flown a little bit higher, a little bit faster. If he'd been able to hold out for Galactus to arrive.
How do you get over there so fast?
The Marvel Zombies universe would have been a lot shorter.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. The only reason the zombies were able to take Galactus down in the first place was because they absorbed power from the Surfer and focused that with a special device to knock Galactus down. If they don't consume the Surfer, they don't have the power to knock him down or injure him. Galactus consumes the Earth, and yes, there go a bunch of the survivors. But then again, the zombies also cease to exist.
I'm empty.
Honestly, it'd probably be better for. It'd probably be better if Galactus did, you know, consume the planet.
Earth was basically too far gone at that point. Which that hilariously turns Galactus into the hero of the story.
Gun rhymes with welcome, stranger. Well then, what can I do?
And especially with how things were timed at that point, we still have Asteroid M full of a bunch of survivors. Just all they need to do is have Forge build whatever they need to get the asteroid to another life-sustaining planet.
Yeah.
There you are. As Hope to see you again soon. Stranger.
You know what? That's my new headcanon ending. Galactus successfully consumes the planet, the zombies all go away with it, and everybody who survived lives happily ever after. Just because I know the sense of humor of this universe, I must specify, no, consuming the zombies along with their planet does not zombify Galactus.
Why, hello there. Hello, AJ. I hope you're still there, and I hope I didn't just completely ignore you, because then I would feel bad. Hello!
Lights out.
Oh, that's neat. You can actually use the scope to see if they have a Plagas or not.
Neat.
Not again.
But anyway, we've diverted from the topic a great deal. So yeah, the Marvel animated universe was pretty full.
He's still here. He's just listening to the commentary about Galactus.
Yeah, we had the Silver Surfer cartoon in which Galactus was a recurring character. Though, understandably, they never had any episodes centered around the planet actually being selected for consumption. It's mostly just the Surfer exploring the universe and meeting other characters from his mythos. I can only imagine what they'd do if they actually had to make an episode around the Surfer selecting a planet for Galactus.
Oh. Man, I don't know. How do you even do that? On a kids show, no less.
I mean, we start things pretty simple enough. Frame it like another one of the exploration episodes. He stumbles onto the planet. We don't immediately confirm that it is suitable for Galactus. We have the Surfer interacting with the people on the planet. Maybe even solve a problem for them. And at the end of the episode, as the Surfer begins to leave, he fires the beacon. And a guilt-ridden look on his face as Galactus arrived.
Oh,
Cut to
boy.
credit. That guilt-ridden look is optional, by the way, depending on how you want to characterize the Surfer.
Or characterize the planet he visited.
Heck, if you want to make it a really friggin' morally gray one, have the planet be locked in an eternal civil war where both sides are attempting to get the Surfer to help them.
Oh, yeah. Like, he tries to help them. And at first it seems like he succeeds, but as he's leaving, he realizes it didn't help. Nothing will change.
because Galactus had been signaled from the very beginning and was on his way. Once again, we end the episode with Galactus arriving and the Surfer just looking guilty. Cut the credits. If you really want to traumatize the kids, you end it with a sound of screaming. Like, multiple, incalculable voices screaming.
No, what you do first is you have it sound like war cries.
Such a fool, Mr. Kennedy. You have been
They're in the middle of fighting, and then it
failed.
slowly turns into screams.
Good boy. Just keep him busy a little longer.
Like, there's definitely ways you can do this. It's just a matter of getting them onto 90s era TV.
So, yeah.
Plus, like 90s era TV, there were some more, like, you had a bit more.
Krauser has possession of the amber.
You had simultaneously more and less freedom
Yeah. AJ
in
says,
different
Have
areas.
it back
AJ
before
says, I
long.
don't think any galactic scale superpower like Silver Surfer can ever help a civilization long term. I think that was the point
Understood.
we were trying to make.
Gotta keep the client happy.
Like, Surfer could end their war, but it wouldn't resolve the reason why they were at war.
And there's nothing stopping them from going to war again for different reasons, or the same reasons.
What they have there isn't necessarily a peace, only a ceasefire.
Any help that he would
So-
do, it would create a power vacuum within the civilization. Civilians. That's true.
And the only reason he's getting involved is simply a matter of keeping the populace distracted until Galactus gets there.
Imposible. ¡Qué demonios!
So on the note of the Surfer and Galactus, I did mention the 90s Fantastic Four cartoon, which it struggled a little bit. But that's not the only Fantastic Four cartoon we ever had.
I am aware of that.
There was one from prior, but there was also one that came after. This one had a little bit more of an anime influence to it.
I remember that one.
Leon.
It was called World's Greatest Heroes, I believe.
Ah, damn it.
It might have been.
Looking for something?
I remember seeing it on Nicktoons a couple of times growing up.
I do believe there was an episode where She-Hulk joined the team.
They also had a crossover with Iron Man. And through sheer technicality, transitive property, they technically had a crossover with Spider-Man. Why do I incite transit? Why do I invoke transitive property here? Well, simple. This universe, this show was confirmed to be in the same universe as Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. which in turn was also confirmed to be in the same universe as Spectacular Spider-Man. In EMH, we not only have several members of the Fantastic Four showing up, not only do we have Spider-Man show up for a couple of episodes, but at some point in the show, we got the Reserve Avengers going,
Damn.
which included The Thing and Spider-Man on the team.
So here's my question. Have you changed, Ada? Or are you just
So,
trying to...
yes, by transitive property, this Fantastic Four crossed over with Spider-Man.
We're here.
I think also Ghost Rider.
Hell yeah!
Don't think too hard, handsome.
Emphasis on the hell, because, you know,
See you
Ghost
later.
Rider.
Oh yeah, and then there was Wolverine and the X-Men.
Right.
Story of my life.
Was that show any good?
Yes, when it toned down the Wolverine worship. Like, after it had a few episodes to get the Wolverine as the main character thing out of their systems, they treated it more like a standard X-Men show, and it actually was decent. Hell, people are still pissed off that it ended on a cliffhanger with the Apocalypse saga looming on the horizon.
AJ says, speaking of Spider-Man, I never liked the whole Doc Ock becoming Spider-Man. Oh, Superior Spider-Man? Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people...
no, that was polarizing for a reason, and you are well within your rights to not like him. I don't like it either.
I like the moral implications.
On you. Change of plans.
But turning, like, everything that happened as a result,
Think that gun's gonna be enough?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, it'd be cool as, like,
Okay.
a one-off
I'll do it.
story, like
But
a one-off
cost you extra.
comic or
Wise decision.
episode
Send me
in
the
a
new
TV
coordinates.
show.
And remember, I do not
Well-
like...
Waiting, I know.
There was one TV show that did actually tackle the Superior Spider-Man story as a little mini arc.
Really?
It's just, unfortunately, one of the worst Spidey shows we've ever had.
Which is...
I've got a ways to go.
The creatively titled Marvel's Spider-Man for 2018.
Is that the one where he's, like, still a kid, but also working at the Bugle, and is friends with Miles?
This was the show that aired after Ultimate Spider-Man. That is the best I can offer.
So that's a yes. Fuck that show.
Like, on the one hand, they expanded the Venom mythos, which, fair enough, they actually touched on the Clintar and everything going on with them. Even if they did it poorly, they at least tried. I will give them credit that they tried. I cannot give them credit for pulling it off, but at least they tried.
That whole era of Marvel cartoons is just...
This particular show had a multi-episode arc centered around the Superior Spider-Man. And their Doc Ock was roughly in Peter's age group.
What?
Their Doc Ock was a teenager even before the Superior Spider-Man thing. To make the body swapping less weird, I assume.
Fucking hell. The whole reason I liked Superior Spider-Man was Doc Ock finding the heat essentially took the body of a young man. Someone who still had their life ahead of them.
I mean, look at some of the stuff he did, ignoring the creepier aspects, like immediately attempting to flirt with and give it to Mary Jane's pants. He basically took Peter back to college. Made Peter finish, his college education, got him a doctorate.
Although he did also get flagged for plagiarism for plagiarizing
Himself.
a piece of Doc Ock's own work.
Which I find hilarious.
I do too, that shit's funny.
I will be right back, by the way. I'm still watching the stream, but I gotta mute.
Alright. He fucking plagiarizes himself and gets mad about it. I have to go ahead, lay down. My head hurts. All right, AJ. Thanks for tuning in, man. Just a fair warning. You may not want to be there for movie night on Wednesday because Panda suggested a movie that's apparently hits really hard, especially for parents.
Should be just up ahead, but getting through won't be easy.
I have some new goods that welcome. Came into some other bits and bobs too, mate. All my wares are in tip-top shape, I assure you. Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger. A deal well struck. Hope to see you again.
Someone made a duck sound.
Who did that? Make him one. On the downside of the college thing, Otto Peter took that degree and founded Parker Industries. I say downside because this was one of the most polarizing choices made at the time. It's a common complaint to call Peter a Diet Tony Stark. Yeah, and then his company just went downhill. And apparently he became a social pariah. Again!
Welcome. Ruby's all rubbish. It makes no difference. Pleasure doing business with you. Thank you. Will that be all then? All yours, stranger. Knowledge is power. Remember that, mate. Now go and cause some mess. Hey, you're sure to find something.
I don't think I'm gonna need this rocket launcher quite yet, so I will put it away. Yep, I can't even call that Parker Love. That was just cruelty on the writer's part. It was me, Barry. I think Parker Industries sucks in reputation. I love how much of a meme it's become, but I also love that despite it being a meme, it is still like still really threatening when you really stop to think about it. Because like when Reverse Flash like talks about like what he did when he finally said it was me, Barry, that whole conversation is just chef's kiss. It was me, because it's not like an overdramatic. It was me, Barry. It's quiet, reserved. It was me. I set your house on fire. I pushed you down the stairs. It was me. I made
Here we go.
your mother. Because as much as we joke about Reverse Flash, he isn't always the type to just go to the grandstand and go, I did this! I mean, sometimes he will do that. Not always. It was me, Barry. I'm saving that. God, I want a picture of, like, it was me, Dio, but have Reverse Flash over Dio, or better yet, turn Dio into Reverse Flash. Like, draw the costume on him or something. Someone's probably done that.
So late.
I brought the medicine just in time.
Can Can you stand?
Where's Luis?
He was worried about you. Till the end. Come on. We don't have much time. Let's get rid of these things.
For Luis.
You were expecting Dio, but it was me, Barry!
Their most important facilities are housed in their sanctuary at top. That's where I live. Happy to help. Now you owe me. Don't die on me now. Locked.
Hello, stranger. Welcome. What can I interest you in? There's some things money can't buy. Oi, oi! Better buy something. While you can. I can feel it. Your type that gets things done.
I could use this.
They're on track. I can't recall if this was actually the case, but after leaving Peter's body behind, I think Otto just planted his mind in a clone of Peter. The name Superior Octopus comes to mind. I believe that was a thing for a while. He had a Spider-Man-like costume, but he had, like, actually, it was more themed after, you know, the octopus. Oh, fucking lovely. One here. Here there's a complex that tells you. Yep, Otto Peter bonded to the suit for a while and became Superior Venom until they were forcibly separated. Makes sense. I found one of them. What is this? Oh. There's the thing exploded. And yet, I'd still prefer Superior Venom over the Red Goblin. I love that the Red Goblin was, like, as far as I know, like a one-time threat. Because that shit was so... That shit was so bad. Peter and the suit had to combine, like they had to remerge to even stand a chance against that thing. And like, given Peter's history with that suit, it would take a lot for him to be like, hop on. Oh, well, that's... Spring Flash / Anti-Venom was the last name of the Red Goblin coffin. Peter reluctantly took the suit on board and brought the fight to Norman. Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't enough. Oh shit.
That was bound to happen.
Peter had to resort to psychological manipulation to convince Norman to reject Marge altogether in order to win. Oh, boy. He convinced old Stormin' Norman that as long as he wore Rascal, none of his achievements would apply to the man, just the blood red suit. I mean, technically, he's not wrong. You didn't beat me. Your symbiote did. That's all the world will ever remember. Oh! Oh, I just remembered something fucking rich. Alright. Oh! Fuck off. So, apparently the Wolverine game by Insomniac was recently well, I say recently, but it was leaked online, and people have been playing the leaked game through like a hack or whatever, and have been complaining about the game being mid. No shit, it's mid. It's not done. You stupid motherfuckers. You're playing an unfinished.
Go figure.
You're playing an unfinished build of the game.
On the flip side, there are people playing leaked builds of Transformers Reactivate. I have not yet learned how the game plays, or if it is any good or not. I just know that there are people who have found ways to play the game, in spite of its cancellation. Keep in mind that it is still technically unfinished.
I mean, as long as there aren't people going around saying this game sucks because it's not finished, like, no shit! Granted,
It's not like the game was even canceled or anything, they're just releasing it when it's ready.
Granted, I will say, like, this does kind of... I feel like this is a result of studios releasing games unfinished. Which is something I absolutely hate. It's a practice that should not be a practice.
And yet we have quite a few years under our belts of this.
No Man's Sky, fucking Fallout 76, Cyberpunk,
Halo 5. Arguably Halo 4.
Devil May Cry 4.
Welcome.
But
Well then,
like,
what can I do you?
that is something that we have to deal with in today's like market. But it shouldn't have to be.
Well
And I feel like that's
done,
also why people are like, oh, this
Good stuff,
like
stranger.
this sucks, it's not finished.
An interesting choice.
No duh!
Because like
Look out for our...
people, I don't want to say they expect it, but it's like it's become such a common occurrence.
items that suit your needs,
But yeah, like people are complaining that the game is mid because, I mean, it's not finished. You're playing a leaked copy from a hack.
I'd argue that it being mid while unfinished is actually a good sign, instead of being, all signs point to it being awful. Because mid, that's like middle of the road, neither good nor bad, right?
Well, usually, but a lot of people tend to use it as bad. Because fuck the English language, I guess.
Right. If it's below 7 out of 10, it's bad, even though 7 is literally above average.
There.
When did above average just become the average, I swear?
I blame the American education system.
So, yeah. As I had mentioned in the little text prompts I've been sending, shit got real when Norman, as the Red Goblin, killed Flash Thompson, who, at that point, being Agent Anti-Venom, was their best chance at stopping him. Like, Anti-Venom, just as a suit itself, and I feel comfortable calling the suit Anti-Venom, whereas the actual Venom symbiote I call the suit.
But it'll have to do.
I feel comfortable doing this for a couple of reasons. Most prominent being the suit that would become Venom has gone on record saying that the symbiote itself is not Venom. The host is not Venom. Venom is the combination of suit and host. Venom is the product of the Union, not half of the Union.
Lights out.
Hence, we are Venom.
Precisely. It's also why I acknowledge that Carnage's symbiote has a name. Yeah, it eventually did get named, and its canonical name is Rascal.
That was my last one.
Carnage is just the product of its unions. Now, why do I choose to call Venom the suit and Carnage Rascal, but still call Anti-Venom Anti-Venom?
Not my favorite carnival.
Simple. The Anti-Venom symbiote is not sapient. Hell, it's arguably not even sentient. It has no mind.
Damn.
At least no mind of its own. Keeping in mind the circumstances of its creation, it was effectively Eddie Brock's immune system made manifest with Mr. Negative's powers and the remnants of the suit in Eddie's blood, all combining together in this perfect storm of circumstances that created the first Anti-Venom. If I had to give Anti-Venom's symbiote a proper name outside of its union, Limb sounds appropriate. L-Y-M.
That cash in your pocket all your life.
Short for lymphocyte, a type of white blood cell.
Will that be all then? Now go and cause some mayhem, eh? Take a look.
That said, the Anti-Venom suit here is, it's supposed to be basically symbiote kryptonite.
How to catch your eye.
comparing it to an immune system on overdrive is not an exaggeration. Those who are familiar with anti-venom know that it has the capacity to cure superpowers and symbiote infestations.
Alright, we are at 2 hours and 16 minutes.
I'm just happy to have made it this far.
I think we'll call it here for today. Tomorrow is more Doom.
And hopefully my internet will have behaved by then.
Hopefully. So, thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92.
And Mekumon, briefly joined by Taro.
Please feel free to support us in any way you wish.
Be it monetarily, engagement, YouTube subscription, or just sharing us around via word of mouth. Every little bit helps.
And as always, stay safe, stay comfy, stay hydrated, be good to each other.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.
And seriously, if you can, give those 90s Marvel shows a try. You, more than likely, will not be disappointed.
Unless you just hate old things.
Or you watch the old Avengers show from that time. That one will disappoint, guaranteed.
You know, there are some people out there that just refuse, that just believe that black and white movies are bad.
Oh no, I've seen someone like that in action.
Like, regardless of if the movie is actually good or not, it's black and white, so it's automatically bad.
Hell, in the Gunpla reviewing circles I watch, Mecha Gaikotsu, one of the more prolific model kit reviewers, has this unspoken attitude of, if it's old, it sucks. Dude badmouthed the G Gundam Master Grades, despite the fact that they revolutionized the interframe technology that we use today.
Well. Anyway. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.